Hey everybody, it's Luke. Wanted to do a garden tour, so hang on and check it out. It's gonna be fun. A lot of stuff in the ground, and hopefully you can learn something or just enjoy watching. Check it out. Hey guys, I thought I would do another garden tour. I know some people find this stuff educational or interesting. So starting out in the greenhouse again. These are flowers. That's some kind of brassica. But yeah, I'm experimenting with flowers this year. Like I've got some marigolds. What else? Alaska daisies, Shasta daisies. And these are spare pepper plants. And I've got some zinnia, gonna be coming up here. Cosmos, bachelor's button, and a lot of other ones. And one called stock, never heard of that. Bunching onions over here. I don't know, those haven't done that well for me, but I've got plenty of other onions. Well, these are all zucchini. I'll just grab them out of there and then plop them in a bowl and call it good. This is a cut flower mix. I just wanted to see what that sort of looked like. Sage, flowers. My mom gave me these really cool succulents from California, and I repotted those. Hopefully they'll take root. Those are all gonna be flowers. Some calendula and alyssum. Some basil, tomatoes, marigolds, bell pepper, brassicas. What else? Flowers, cilantro. Some mixed kale right in front there. These are more flowers. The tall ones are the marigolds, and again, a whole bunch there. And then more backup tomatoes. That's a lupin. Some more alyssum, decorative grasses. And then these were some basils that are just going to flower. They have a really cool flower. I grew these ones all inside. I just repotted them out here. So that's, oh no, there's a big category I'm missing here. Let me try not to make you guys sick. See this area down here? These are all wild plants that I don't know, foraged or picked, or I don't know what the right word is, dug up. So you got some ferns, some wild grasses. I think those are lodgepole pines. That is a spruce or a fir. And these cool like reeds. So anyway, these are actually all doing pretty good. Yeah, none of these have died yet. So the plan for these plants is to put them around our landscaping. We're gonna be doing a creek. So join me in another minute and we'll go into the garden. All right, there'll be areas that are kind of trashy looking, like soil bags and stuff like that. I'll end up cleaning all that stuff up. But anyway, here's that new area. And we've got pole beans, English lavender. Those first 3 rows are all mixed kale. There's 2 rows in there that are going to be, or you can't really see, that are going to be chives, more kale, and at the end 2 rows, that's all cilantro. So I'm going to have a lot of those things. And again, behind the greenhouse, I have a whole row of onions. Those are going bonkers. So then we'll go through the gate here, and you'll first see containers. I started growing in containers about 3 years ago, and man, do I love them. So you can just do like these individual monocrops. So I've got some of the green things that you're seeing is radish. I think that's butter crunch lettuce. Another type of, oh no, that is spinach. That's due for a harvest actually, and then I'll just harvest it and then it will all grow back. That's mesclun mix, which is a mix of kales and let's see, arugula and lettuces, if I didn't already say that. Then this one's all radishes. This one's the I think they call it English breakfast. Oh, those are getting pretty big. See how they're longer? Those are not like round shape, they're more long shape. Those are pretty cool. Those actually are going to be, some of the bigger ones will be harvestable soon. Those will grow, like I'll grow 2 or 3 rounds of those in a year. And then these empty ones, I just have a variety of different things. I'm not gonna bore you with everything. What are these guys? This is, what is it? Garnet blend radish. Okay, so these are, oh no, gourmet. Can't read my own handwriting. So this is a gourmet blend. Those will be like a bunch of different colors. That'll be exciting. Some of these have little teeny seedlings, but they're hard to see. These are sunchokes, otherwise known as Jerusalem artichokes. Ask me if you want to know more about those. Those are cool. Those ones haven't popped up yet. Oh, chives in this one. You can barely see them. Onions. English lavender. No, this is the butter crunch. The other one I think was Simpson. The butter crunch is a really good leaf lettuce. Those are onions from last year. Just kind of seeing what happens. Those were kept in the greenhouse. Peas right here. I have those. Those will just trellis up a little bit. Look at that. Flowers. That means we're gonna get peas soon. Where's the flower? Oh, there it is. Then this spinach is going to bolt. Just didn't really do it at the right time of year. This one will be jam-packed full of carrots. So I got 2 new spinaches, and then I've got a couple other coming up because, you know, I want to have enough to do something with. This is red Russian kale. This stuff is awesome. Grows really good in our area. It does this thing where it sort of self-heals its leaves. It's really cool. I'll show you guys that later in the season. Or no, I can show you now. Hold on. See, like right here, there's almost a leaf on a leaf. That probably had a little hole. Now it fills in its own holes. So cool. So if it gets like a little bug damage, it just like pops out another leaf on top of the leaf. Stuff is really hardy and really tasty too. Okay, back over here. I just jammed some extra, what is that, cabbage in there. There's like 3 or 4 of them. We'll see what happens in that bucket. Lettuce, and then some red Swiss chard there. So that's gonna frame in nice because that'll be low and then the chard will get high. So that's gonna frame that in real nice. This is blue dwarf kale. It's kind of like a curly leaf. And then up here, this is another round of bok choy. Some of that went to seed or started bolting. I'm gonna give it another go around. So I'll probably harvest those young. Those are really tasty. And then moving over here, my little nasturtiums at the end, they're starting to go. That'll be fun. We got some good weather coming up and they're gonna just explode. And then down the row this way, those are all broccolis. Never grown those. I've never really even grown brassicas before, so I'm growing new stuff this year. Another nasturtium on the corner. That's gonna like flow out and be really beautiful. That'll attract pollinators too. And something somebody told me is they call it a pest trap. Like most bugs and aphids and stuff like the taste of nasturtium over other things, so they'll just attract the bugs away from your good crops. This is multi-plant, multi-sown, I guess you could say. So we have in the front, those are beets, so a row of beets. Then behind that, that's a row of radishes. So these are gonna come out real soon, and then these will just continue to get big. So you get like twice as much out of the same space. So you'll notice I'm growing a lot of radishes this year. My dad likes those, I like those. This is a type of lettuce that was overwintered just under the dirt. That's actually due for a harvest right there. Cut it off and it will grow all back. And then looking on down there, you can just see a bunch more beets. Absolutely love beets. Can't get enough of them. We'll turn around. That's all turnips. Those grew really well last year. I didn't really have much experience with them, but I like them. I like root crops. They're so easy. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of carrots. These 1, 2, 3 rows of green, that's all arugula. They call it rocket in across the pond in England, so to speak. I like that, like a kind of a spicy lettuce. And then these little babies, that is a row of mustard. That's mustard greens. So I'm gonna have a lot of different kinds of greens, and I can like mix them and all that. All right, so these are 4 extra broccolis, and so I just popped them in there. Those will get tall. We'll pop back over here. So in the very front, those are marigolds. Some of them are have a little transplant shock. I can always replace them. That's why I've got backups of a lot of plants. This is all Simpson lettuce. 3 rows of mesclun. So that again, that was the mix of like red lettuces, some kales, and then chard here. Chard gets bigger, so those are spaced further apart. This row didn't germinate all the way, so I popped in some more seeds. All right, we'll do the last bed, and then we'll kind of go for more in-ground stuff. These were transplanted lettuces, so you can see kind of the uniform spacing. Those ones I think are also the black-seeded Simpson. And then other things that aren't up yet is 2 more rows of carrots, 3 more rows of beets, and then this is I've never grown this. This is what is it? Eggplant. 2 eggplants, and then an nasturtium here, and again that will sort of flow over the edge. That's gonna be really pretty. There's a volunteer lettuce that came from a seed by accident, and yeah, I'm gonna let them grow and eat them. Cook them up and eat them, as Dad says. This is a kale. This is a curly leaf. Oh, look how gorgeous that is. It's almost fractal. Love that texture. I think this is your typical kale that you probably find in the grocery store. Those are gonna get to be monsters. Another nasturtium that's gonna flow off that edge. So I'm kind of interplanting some flowers, which I've never done, but that's good for the garden in a lot of different ways. You attract bees, and then of course nasturtiums are also edible. So onions, I had 2 rows right here, or 3 rows of radishes. I pulled those, and now we just have the onions. I can go ahead and plant some more stuff there, but I'm not sure. And let's see, that's a volunteer lettuce. Those are kohlrabi. Oh no, I'm sorry. These are kohlrabi. So these are interesting. They'll that bulb at the bottom, it's an above ground bulb. That'll get really big. It's, I don't know, like the texture of watercress kinda, with the flavor of a mild cabbage. Those are bok choy, and you can see, I'm gonna zoom right into there. You can see that's going to flower. So that means I should harvest this. They stretch out and they don't quite taste as good. So those are ready to harvest. Those taste like mild cabbage. In here, strawberries. I have 2 different kinds. One from Janine's mom, and then the other one's called hula berry that I just planted. And they say those taste like, what is it? They taste like pineapple. That's wild. Oh, and then like just a couple more tucked over there. All right, so I'm gonna pan over here. Now these are my potatoes. You will see that those took a little bit of frost damage, but they're fine. They're just gonna keep pushing up. They look a little sad now, but nothing bad happened. So if I remember right, this is about 60 potatoes that went in. I hilled them and then put straw on them, and these things are gonna bush out really big. We've got some peas lining that fence over there. We're gonna do a long pan across here. Sorry. Let's go back over here, and then we'll kind of walk backwards. These are some fun areas. So on this fence line, I've got Alaska peas. Then we've got some cabbages, and this looks like a mix of kohlrabi, mostly kohlrabi, and there's 1 or 2. I think there's 2 Brussels sprouts there. I'm really excited for the Brussels sprouts. And then the bigger ones are cabbages. And then throughout, you can see like right in here, that was a volunteer potato. I didn't harvest it last year, so boom, potato. If you leave a potato in the ground, this is what happens. I'm gonna swing around, I guess. These are all tomatoes. I'm not gonna say what each one, but I've got Cherokee Reds and then like a variety of different smaller tomatoes. I went with all big tomatoes last year, and I don't know, not all of them ripened, so I'm going for some smaller varieties. And then in between all those, or some of those, I've got Genovese basil, which is just like Italian basil, and I think maybe some green, what is it called? I can't remember, another type of basil. So those are more tomato plants, so 3 rows of those. Then these ones, oh, these are white Vienna. I think these are gonna be all kohlrabies again, I think. Let's see, white Vienna, yeah, white Vienna kohlrabi. So I'm gonna have a lot of kohlrabi. I've heard that grows really good here. So first year with that. I got it stuck a little eggplant over here at the end of the row, because that's sort of like the dead end, a marigold. And swing you around here. These are all peppers, all different kinds. I was worried I would put these in a little too early, but we're gonna get some hot weather coming soon in about a week and a half. So actually I think these probably will end up being perfect. So I mulched that and put in some, like steer manure / mulch. I forked it to get some air into it, which means basically just using like a pitchfork, go down as far as you can and just lift the soil. You don't want to churn the soil. You mix it here. I've got to reclaim this whole row over here. So that's got grasses and roots. I've got these awful grasses that have these traveling roots. It's like crabgrass or some kind of crabgrass. This stuff is awful. These things can be like 3 foot long. You leave in one little piece and it will just come back again. So you have to be really thorough. But see, that's what I've done through here, is I've sort of reclaimed all this space that has no weeds in it. So then I'm gonna do the same with this and then put fabric over it. So this long row, that's all gonna be corn. And then actually 1 row will be halfway in the fabric. This is where I had my corn before. I wanna rotate my plants so they get different, nutrient needs and that sort of thing. So then in these like more open spaces, I'm gonna put in all kinds of zucchinis and squashes. I've got butternut squash. What else? Like the spaghetti squashes, mom loves those. Acorn squashes. And these need some elbow room. And so anyway, I've planted them, in intervals. Everything's doing pretty good. These are a little sun scalded. But again, I've got backups of a lot of this stuff and they grow so fast. So we'll keep going over here. There's not much left to show. Again, sorry about the mess. All this will get cleaned up. These are like 6 potatoes. 2, 2, 4, 6, 8. Another 8 potatoes. These didn't get burned by the frost. I've got this fence here to keep Junie out, you can see. And then all that metal, I'm gonna reclaim that space too. So that'll eventually be more garden area. But you can see nasturtiums along that little fence. I'm going crazy with those. They're just so gorgeous. So 8 potatoes there. Oh, up here, those are pole beans. So those are gonna grow up along there. And then you gotta look kind of close, guys, but that's what a baby asparagus looks like. Those are perennials, which means it'll come back year after year and get bigger and bigger and bigger. This one's like probably 1 year old. I got that in a nursery. In fact, I got 3 of them. And so this one, they call it, it's almost like a fern. So they call it ferning out when you let them do that, because you don't want to harvest it until they get bigger. Basically, it puts all the power back down into the root system, which they call the crown. I'm gonna zoom into this. It's probably hard to see, but check this out. This is what they look like. It's just a mini, there it is. It's just a mini asparagus. Too small to eat. I mean, you could, but the point is to let the plant have all that energy. So they'll just keep pushing up those. They'll die back, pushing them up again, dying back. And so here's another one. And then another first year that I put in. So I finished just kind of dumping the rest of the seeds in here. So like in maybe 2 to 3 years, I'll have like a really good asparagus patch. That'll be fun. Those are more of those sunchokes. This is the main sunchoke area. Those are kind of like a potato, but different. They'll actually grow up to have sunflower type flowers on them, but the tubers are what you eat. So anyway, guys, I know this was like pretty long, but I don't know. Again, some people find enjoyment. Hopefully some people can learn and or get inspired and, you know, just maybe they don't know what to grow in our area, and I can help with that. So if anybody has any questions, I'm an open book. I love to talk about gardening. Just shoot me a message and I'll do my best to answer. Thanks for spending some time with me. Bye.